All right, let's see if I can do this right, Dr. Crane. It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 1025 The Game. Chase and Joe are both out today. Joe is traveling to Kennesaw, Georgia to watch MTSU. Not watch, call MTSU and Kennesaw State, the Blue Raiders and the Owls. And then Chase just needed a well-deserved work day.
From what I heard, from what the pigeon has told me through the little letter they put through the air, they both went to this wonderful Microsoft. I think it's cloud storage. You know, Chase has a lot of those going on.
We were just in his office. He's got a ton of them.
It's cloud on his whole wall. From what I know, is Joe went along with him. I think Chase said Joe couldn't go alone, and you need somebody that's well experienced with all that stuff.
Well, I heard it's taking place in Rayon City, and Joe is very connected out there, so they needed a place to stay, and Joe got them hooked up. Which, I mean, that is the highest praise of them all, to be connected in Rayon City. So
it's like going to England, meeting the king.
The Golden Palace.
Yeah, that's what it is. Rayon City's England, essentially.
We are broadcasting today from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. We got a fun show today. Uncle Chris Sanders, will join us at 1 p.m. today to talk about the Titans, and he's got a big high school football game tonight, too, as Baylor is heading down to Big Red territory to take on NBA. I got some stuff to ask him about him. We'll get to our question of the day momentarily, and I'll sweeten the deal because it's a special day. Both of us are on here.
Indeed.
For our question of the day, you will win a winner with the best text of the day. We'll win a pair of tickets before you can buy them to see Yacht Rock Review at the Ryman Auditorium on Saturday, February 7th, 2026.
It's a big concert.
I know George Plaster will be there because he's a yacht rocker, as he told me.
Yacht rock.
He loves yacht rock. So, Dr. Crane?
Yeah.
Why don't you set us up with our question of the day presented by Aries Tactical? Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. Check them out at ariestactical.com.
Well, thank you, Connor. Yeah, the Titans have been so bad the whole entire year. I thought, you know what? Maybe this would be a good time to maybe just bring it out there. So, since Titans have been bad, here is the question of the day. If the Titans were a warning label, what would it say on it?
Oh,
and I'll leave it open for the text line.
That's a good one.
You have one off the top of your head?
I would have to think about some funnier ones, but off the top of my head, I would say caution, will not convert on third down or something like that.
Mine was fragile, must be Italian, because this team is littered with injuries and they're all gone. So that's what I went with that one. But it should be a great one. I know the text line will definitely come in clutch with a bunch of great answers. And I just think it's great. So yeah, again, 615-737-1025. The best text wins some Yacht Rock tickets. So again, the question is, if the Titans were a, caution label, what would it say? And I'll leave it up to you guys on the text line. Thank you.
We, again, have a fun show today. Uncle Chris at 1. We'll play celebrity birthdays and where are they now, of course, at 2:45, which will be interesting because neither of us are over the age of 30. So that'll be fun. We'll incorporate a little bit of our stuff at 12:45 today. The debut of Where Are They Now duels. And I'll explain how that works later on. But essentially, you're going to give me 5 Where Are They Now players. I'm going to give you 5, and we're just going to go at it.
I love it. Back and forth.
It's going to be fun. Let's get started on the Titans. So L'Jarius Sneed had some interesting comments towards Nico Collins, who is arguably a top 10 receiver in the NFL, plays for the Houston Texans. Obviously, that's their opponent this week. We do not have clear evidence as to why he says this, but basically, I think it was TD actually asked, L'Jarius Sneed, what is your assessment of Nico Collins? How do you plan to contain him? And L'Jarius just goes, who? And then,
what?
TD asks again, Nico Collins, he's a great receiver and you're going to have to do a lot to lock him up. Who? And then he walks off. I don't know about you. I don't like that.
No.
You're digging your own grave. And I feel like Nico Collins is a young receiver and he's young enough and fast enough to have a breakout game, especially for a Houston Texans team that's 0-3 on the season and desperately needs this win if they want to compete for an AFC South title. You just motivated. You put some fuel to the fire of Nico Collins and the Houston Texans, and I don't like that.
You awoke the beast is what you did. And Nico Collins responded with, "Oh, he knows who I am. He knows exactly who I am." So the fact that you went after one of the best wide receivers in the AFC South, L'Jarius Sneed, I don't know what the mindset is. I know it's John. You're going back and forth. That's football. But when you know your track record is not being available for games, your knees are not healthy, your quad's not healthy. Now you probably are healthy to a certain degree. I know the Titans have had him on a pitch count the last couple of weeks, getting him back into play. But now you can't go after the top dog. You can't go after the rainbow fish if you're a grizzly bear. You can't do that.
No,
that's a terrible analogy, but whatever.
That was so fourth grade math book right there.
Hey, we are a fourth grade math book.
Yeah,
essentially that.
Life is a fourth grade math book.
You're right. Just keep it in between the lines, I guess. But no, Snead can't be doing this primarily because if you're coming off a pitch count, and I'm not saying he had one last game. Yes, he's getting to the point where he's getting back to being a serviceable corner. But when you get rid of a guy like Jarvis Brownlee Jr., guess what? Your snap count's going to go through the roof.
Which I am still befuddled as to why they did that. I know why they did it because I know some things.
I think it might be out by now about his attitudes and so forth. Yeah.
But it's still a young player like that getting the reps that he was getting. I don't think you trade him for that low of a price.
I mean, look, if somebody's, and I kind of deviating a little bit, but look, if there's a guy in the locker room, and I'm just all hearsay, not, to the T, but if he's being an issue and you draft him in the 5th round and you get rid of him for a 6th round, you're not losing much. Now, I get it. There is a big upside to that. You could have probably milked it a little bit to where you got maybe a 4th or just something better than a 5th at what you drafted him at. I get all that. But in the same context, Mike Borgonzi is probably thinking, look, I'm not a part of this old regime. I didn't draft him. Sure, he may be a good player on the upside, but if you're going to be an issue, guess what? Bye-bye. Like that's Borgonzi to me. If Borgonzi is the one that made the move, which he should be because he's a GM.
Yeah, he should be the one. That's why I don't understand why you tried Callahan out there to talk about a trade that he was not involved in.
I think Borgonzi.
But go ahead. What's Callahan going to say? Because every single question he's asked is, well, we're going to keep it in-house. I could ask him what time he went to bed last night, and he would say, I'm going to keep that in-house. If I hear it one more time, I'm going to throw my phone across the wall.
Yeah, I don't know what is worse, hearing we'll keep it in-house or the question about Cam Ward's confidence. I think I've heard that confidence question every single week of the year so far.
I don't know my attitude towards that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But to the point though, you're right. Borgonzi should have been the one, answering questions, but at the same time, it's not him that's directing all this. I guess you'd call it cinema in some regard because they just don't want him to speak. I don't know why that is. I guess if anything, I'd like to hear Chad Brinker speak because he's a part of all this. So I don't know.
615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. I'm trying to decide if I want to read what Adam in Portland just said about L'Jarius Sneed or not, because I feel like we'll get in trouble.
I'll give it a gander. I'm still loading up the text line, but
it's a comment about L'Jarius Sneed's, he took a shot at the Houston Texans.
Probably not. Yeah, probably. I can't get
this time legally.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence about, the Titans secondary. I mean, don't get me wrong. They just signed Amani Hooker to an extension, but at the same time, again, the depth. If you don't have depth, then how can you truly evaluate your defense going forward? Yeah. That's the big issue for me. So the Titans, I think, will go 0-4 this weekend. And
I agree.
It will be in terrible fashion. I think the Titans will get blown out by 17 or more. Then do
we have the conversation of quick trigger Amy just lost to the team she does not want to lose to? Is it time to make some changes?
That's a great question, Connor.
And that's a question we don't have the answer to because she's unpredictable.
That's true. I said to Chase McJoe about a week and a half ago, and I said this on Jake's show as well, and Next Man Up, I think Amy gives him the away trip, the 3 games, and then when he comes back and maybe they fire him before New England, and or if they don't and they lose to New England in big fashion, I think that's when, everything will take place. It'll all unfold at that point.
Yeah. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. The text line is completely loaded up with answers to our question of the day. Again, Yacht Rock tickets on the line. for the best answer, and we'll get through to those throughout the show. We'll get to some of those next here on the program. Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. Lots of answers rolling in for our question of the day. Again, our question of the day today. If the Titans season this year were to have a warning label, what would that be? Let's get to some of your answers. Again, 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. 9708 says, may cause dizziness, drowsiness, and nausea.
That's great.
Fantastic. A lot of you have said this one, but I'll just go off of Justin and Smyrna. Choking hazard.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fairly accurate. This one may be in the lead for those Yacht Rock tickets for me. 6727 says, don't worry, you'll win.
Such a boost of confidence.
It's so good. John from Nashville says, watch at your own risk. I can't read this one on the air, but I'll preface it by saying it's something Uncle Eddie says in Christmas Vacation when he's cleaning out his RV. Blankers full from 6391. It's fantastic.
I mean, you guys are rolling them in. Love the text line. You guys are great interactions every day. This is incredible. Justin and Greenbrier, warning, do not operate heavy machinery, walk your dog, swim, or talk to anyone after consuming Tennessee Titans football. That's great, Justin. That's really good. That's up there for me.
7606, warning, side effects may include itching, anger, anxiety, vomiting, fatigue, and nosebleeds. I think that's more of a medical concern than it is just watching Titans football. But 7092 says, warning, this team is hazardous to your mental health. That's from Lee in Fairview.
I'm telling you, this Titans team is so bad, they are causing its own fan base to go up in an absolute spiral. I mean, a vortex of F5 tornadoes is what this is.
F5 tornadoes.
Yeah. Isn't that what that is? Yeah.
That's Brock Lesnar's finisher as well.
Excuse me. My bad.
Sorry, I'm a nerd. 3332 says caution, folds under pressure. Or they just fold in general. There's not a lot of pressure on them most weeks.
Fold like origami.
Yeah. You should be a rapper.
Hey. I'm not going to comment on that. That's why I'm just not going to comment on that. Back in the day, I used to do some of that.
It's Cousin Eddie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Uncle Eddie.
I have an Uncle Eddie. It's okay. That'll work.
Adam in Portland pointed that out to me. Adam in Portland likes to correct my mistakes, and I'm here for it.
He loves you, man.
Yeah.
He loves you. But no, these texts are great. Keep them rolling in. I think Will in Kentucky might have my favorite right now. 404, not found. Because this team is nowhere to be found at all.
Yeah, they're Weston Clarksville. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna read that one.
We'll come back to some of these later in the show, but
real quick, let's go to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in our good friend and our pal, Kenny the mailman. Kenny, what's up, my friend?
Hello, everybody. It's a great contest. I'm so old, the review plays songs from when I'm in high school, so that is good memory. Have you ever noticed the side of a cigarette pack is sort of wordy?
Yes.
It is. Well, here's my warning for you. Warning, the CDC has determined Titans ownership is hazardous to your health, wealth, and mental stability. And what's bad, you know what? In good humor, there's a lot of truth. And every one of the suggestions so far, you can say, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Kenny. You have a great day. It is an absolutely beautiful day outside today. I just want to say that. Not a cloud in the sky, and we've had rain all week. So nice to see some sunshine today. And there's football to be played tonight. So good for those guys. One more before we move on to get back to L'Jarius Sneed a little bit. Kelton on our text line says, object on TV is further than they appear. That one goes deep.
That's great.
If you think about it.
It does.
It goes deep. I really, really like that one. We'll keep those going throughout the show. Again, 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Yacht Rock tickets on the line before you can buy them to the best texter, and we will reassess as we go on. But back to the L'Jarius Sneed conversation. L'Jarius Sneed, if you're just joining us, talking a big game. Asked about Nico Collins, who is arguably a top 10 receiver in the NFL, and says, who? and repeats and repeats. And our producer today, Brandon Bigsby, pointed it out to us during the break that Snead and Collins have not matched up in their entire careers yet. So this will be the first time that we see L'Jarius Snead versus Nico Collins. I feel like if L'Jarius Snead has a bad game on Sunday, it's because he dug his own grave. And he did too much talking and not enough backing it up. And that's where my problem lies with this.
Yeah, I feel like if they went up against Houston in like week 6, that would be okay to do something like this. Because I feel like he'd be, I wouldn't say healthy like Kansas City Chiefs healthy, but he would be healthy enough to back up his play. I don't think he's healthy enough to back up his play.
Look, I will take this to the grave. That LA Rams game a couple weeks ago was his best game in two-tone blue.
Absolutely.
He played great. Now, he gave up a Devontae Adams touchdown, but that's Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a premier receiver in this league. But he played up close. He played personal. He didn't give up, and he played a majority of the snaps. I think he played 93% of snaps during that whole game, which is a lot for a guy that was, quote-unquote, on a pitch count. So he played a great game. That said, through three games this season, that's been the outlier. He has not been up to par throughout his entire Titans career. That game specifically is probably the outlier. And I want to see forward momentum for L'Jarius Snead. I want to see his career get back on track and be kind of the all-pro corner that he was slated to be when the Titans traded for him. But right now, outside of that Rams game, he hasn't been that. So I don't think you have the ability to talk that talk. Not until you can back it up. And he hasn't done that so far.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a Nico Collins career game. I really do. This is a get right game for Houston. Not just because of the comments from L'Jarius Snead, but to the point of both these teams are 0-3. And on paper, sure, Houston's having some secondary issues with CJ Gardner-Johnson and their other corner they just had an injury with. Like, you look at that and say, besides those two factors, this team on paper is one of the best in the NFL, especially in the AFC South. They were the preseason darlings to win the South. So you look at that, and then you look at the Titans' current state where they're at. No J.C. Latham. Dan Moore Jr. is still I guess, whatever that is on the left side.
Walmart greeter.
Yeah, Walmart greeter. I mean, this team for the Titans is just not up to par with everybody else. And for Houston, I think it's primarily all CJ Stroud's issues. I think that's all it is. It's up here in the brain for CJ Stroud. He's got the talents. I think he's just got to get back. Like I said, get right. It's a get right game. I think he just has to get back to the basic fundamentals and target Nico Collins, the guy that's got him to where he's at today.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I want to flip it over to the defensive side of the ball for the Texans. They have probably a top 3 corner in the entire league on their team, and Derek Stingley Jr. So I'm curious, and we'll get to this more on the other side. Now that you've made the change, Brian Callahan is no longer calling plays. Bo Hardegree is going to be the man moving forward. How does that change things with a good defense? Obviously, Houston has Derek Stingley, like I just mentioned. Danielle Hunter. Will Anderson is the young guy they just drafted last year out of Alabama, who has been an upstart defensive player. I mean, you could make the conversation it's between him and Jared Verse as the best young edge in this league. They have guys, Denico Autry, who you're familiar with, our guy Azeez Al-Shaair, who we're familiar with. They have all of these pieces on defense that, in talking with DJ Bieniemy, with TD, on Talking with TD, if you haven't listened, go listen to that. It sounds like the defense is not to blame for the Texans' struggles right now. That offensive line has been putrid. The offense in general has been horrible. CJ Stroud has not been the quarterback he's been through the start of his career, which is kind of a shock to me. The receivers, other than Nico Collins, have not been up to par to what they're trying to build. But on the defensive side, how does Bo Hardegree's play calling change things? Because I have a hard time believing anything's going to change.
I think, I heard Robbie today talking with TD, I believe. He said that Tony Pollard's like getting 3.6 yards on average. To me, you got to run the ball a little bit more. And TD said it best about running more 11 personnel, 12 personnel out there. That's what you have to do when things aren't working well in the passing game. And nonetheless, I get it. It's Bo Hardegree's first game as a play caller for the Titans. I get all that. But if you want to make a statement, establish the run. Football has not changed. Why do you think Mike Vrabel had so much success here in Tennessee? Obviously, he had Derrick Henry, but he ran the ball. When you establish the run game, first thing to do in a football game, and you're averaging about 4 to 5, maybe 6 yards per carry, you're going to win the football game, obviously. But if you can establish a good run game, because the offensive line's pass pro right now can't do it. You can't do it with what you have out there.
Yeah.
If you can get your interior line to get a good push and get up at least 2 to 3 yards, and you can get 4 or 5 on top of that, and maybe get the running back to the second level or past the second level. I mean, it sounds easy to talk about, but if you can do that, that I think would take care of a lot of the Titans' problems right now. It would keep them in a lot of games. It wouldn't make them into 3 possession games. They'd be in 1 score games easily.
Yeah, and you mentioned the run game and getting that established. The run game for the Titans has taken a serious hit as far as depth, as Khalil Mullins is now on the IR.
Mhm.
You're still missing Tajay Spears. So right now you got 2 guys out there, Tony Pollard, Julius Chestnut. Those are the only 2 running backs that you can trot out there right now unless you make a call to the practice squad. And right now, I don't feel confident about those 2 guys. No. I don't feel confident in them getting an established run game, especially, as I mentioned, the depth you have at running back and the depth you have at offensive line right now. J.C. Latham is still out. Kevin Zeitler is up in the air. Your whole right side of the line is in question. And even with those guys healthy, has the offensive line been up to par this year through 3 games? Absolutely not. So I understand your claim of you got to establish the run game. And I'm not saying that these are all excuses for them not to, but it doesn't work in their favor.
Yeah.
They don't have the talent to do that. Nor do they have, competent play calling to do that. So,
Yeah, but I just think with the run game, and Cam Ward's talked about this, you can't be behind the sticks when it's like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You can't be in those scenarios. I think if you run the ball, it keeps you in those 3rd and manageable plays. And if you can be 3rd and manageable in the NFL, that gives you a fighting chance. I'm not saying the run game has to be the end all be all,
yeah.
but it definitely has to play a bigger factor than the pass game. Even though Cam Ward, we know he has a great arm, we know he can throw the ball great, but you can't do that right now. You have to establish something that's been in football since the 1900s.
615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. We'll keep the conversation going on the other side. Plus, we'll kind of focus more in on the Bo Hardegree portion of this. How do you feel about Bo Hardegree calling plays for the first time for the Titans on Sunday against the Texans? Again, you can text or call us. We'll get to that on the other side. Chase and Big Joe with Connor Newt and Nick Frazier here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Hey, looking for a good spot to watch NFL games on Sunday? Then you should come to Twin Peaks in Cool Springs, home of the 29-degree beer, and join 102.5 The Game for the pregame show before the Titans take on the Texans. Pregame show is brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Old National Bank, Circus Sportsbook Kentucky, and Tennessee Brew Works. Welcome back in. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier again, taking over the program today here on Chasing Big Joe. Chasing Joe off doing some cloud storage stuff over in Rayon City. So we're holding things down today. So we're having the conversation. Obviously, the news of the week, Bo Hardegree is taking over play calling duties from Brian Callahan. And his first big test this Sunday in Houston against the Texans. Off the top of your head, Frazier, what is your gut feeling heading into this one, knowing Bo Hardegree is feeling or is calling the plays?
I want to see if he targets Calvin Ridley, because like the whole narrative the last couple of weeks, and they keep asking Brian Callahan this, how can you get Calvin Ridley out of his funk? How can the staff help him get out of his funk? I want to see if Bo Hardegree has some play calls up in the noggin for Calvin Ridley, because if he doesn't, to me, that goes to show you Bo Hardegree is a part of the youth movement.
Yeah.
He's ready to get Alec Iowamaner, Chim Dike. He's ready to get all of those guys more reps, even if, they cough, bring up Xavier Restrepo at some point in the season.
Catch the strap, baby.
Catch the strap. But that's another topic for another day. But I would like to see Bo Hardegree kind of just go with this youth movement. But at the same time, if Calvin Ridley's still on the docket for him to be a part of this team, let's see if he targets him 5 to 6 times this game this Sunday.
To me, I look at Bo Hardegree and I look at the relationship he has with Cam Ward. Obviously, Cam Ward loves Bo Hardegree. If you listen to his press conferences, he mentions Bo all the time. They work together at practice. I've seen it in person. They have a great relationship. So going into this one, I feel like this play calling is going to be very Cam Ward centric. How can we get Cam in the best possible position in this game that we possibly can? And that's maybe you take a deep shot. Maybe you let him do what he's naturally good at and throw the ball down the middle through the seams. I think that's something you need to look at, is how centralized this offense will be around Cam Ward. Because to be honest with you, under Brian Callahan, I didn't feel that way. I felt it was, let's play this as conservatively as we possibly can. Cam, throw a bubble screen on the outside to Alec Iowamaner. Cam, hand the ball off to Tony Pollard on 3rd and 8 up the middle. It was not Cam Ward centralized. So I'm curious to see how this offense looks if it is, in fact, Cam Ward centralized, and it should be, because he's your number 1 pick at quarterback. And if you want to prove that you're a franchise quarterback, then you should probably take the reins of the offense. I want to see how centralized this offense looks for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think under Brian Callahan, we saw I'd say discombobulated conservative approach. Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah, it was Fisher ball on crack.
Yeah,
we'll say that.
That sounds about right. But no, yeah, I think Bo Hardegree. I'm also intrigued to see how the team responds. They talked about this week. Bo will take over. Brian said Bo will take over with the play calling, yada yada yada, and it's still going to be a collaborative effort. As to Nick Holtz takes over the base offense. Hardegree still takes over on third down. Excuse me. The wide receiver coach takes over red zone is what it was with Mike McCoy.
It's like a super, I don't know. I don't want to say disorganized because it's clearly organized, but it's super unnecessarily divided. It feels like.
Yeah, I'll look at it this way: as like there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yep.
Like whatever happened, just having an offensive play caller. Ensure that you could, have your game planning the whatever days before it is Sunday, whatever it is. You can still have your planning out of the mapping of plays, but at the same time, to me, it just seems like there's too many people talking. There just needs to be one line of communication. It's like same thing with the front office. There's too many different avenues of communication. Chad Brinker, Borgonzi, Callahan, to Amy, whatever. Same thing with the offensive coordinator. If Nick Holtz is the offensive coordinator, what's the point of having that job title if he's not calling the plays?
Yeah. Oh, I've been asking the question the whole time. What does Nick Holtz do?
Nobody knows, I don't think. I mean, we know he takes over the base offense. That's about it. But I
don't doubt that he's involved and he has a role on game days. But if you're the offensive coordinator and you're not calling plays, then what is your purpose?
I said this on Jake's show a couple of days ago on Tuesday, Tony Tuesdays.
Tony Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tony Tuesdays. Big Joe gave me some credit for this on the Chase McJoe show later that day. I personally think Brian Callahan put him in the OC position because if everything panned out in the same way it did for Callahan when he was in Cincinnati, and I think Burrow's rookie year when they went to the Super Bowl, something like that, he'd get a better job somewhere else. And I think he was trying to, do Holtz a solid and give him a better job eventually. But I don't think that's how it went. I really don't. And obviously we see it all unfolding terribly. And I think that's what happened. I think he was just trying to set up his good childhood best friend into a better job position, and it didn't pan out that way. So,
yeah, I mean, we harp on Vrabel all the time for giving his buddies jobs. Like Shane Bowen was the defensive coordinator. Obviously, Todd Downing, the OC.
By the way, he's in New England again.
Is he?
Yeah. Not again, but he's
with Vrabel.
He's with Vrabel again.
He is the wide receivers coach at New England right now.
Thank you. Look at that.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, history was just made.
Yes.
As Brandon Bigsby has made his on-air debut here at 102.5 The Game. Thank you, Brandon.
The man.
The man. He's my guy right now. Yes. We harp on Mike Vrabel for hiring his buddies. As we just mentioned, Todd Downing, Shane Bowen, guys like that. Craig Ackerman was the special teams coordinator and would not be fired for God knows why.
Yeah.
Brian Callahan's doing the same thing. I mean, Nick Holtz is the offensive coordinator.
Blood relation. Father, offensive line.
Yes.
Coach. So to me, when I look at that and see, Bill Callahan as an offensive line coach, I wonder if he's out of his prime a little bit, or if they just didn't invest that much. I mean, I get they invested in Dan Moore Jr., but I don't know. I'm at a loss of words for this offensive line when I think of Bill Callahan, because I think he's done a really good job at teaching the basic fundamentals. But at the same time, this team is just so discombobulated. Like, they're not learning on top of what they're already have as a base knowledge, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me a little bit. I feel like there's a disconnect somewhere. There has to be, because, and I get it with injuries as well, but minus injuries, this team just hasn't had it. And I know that kind of deviated from the original question of what do you want to see from Bo Hardegree on Sunday? And to kind of go back to that, I just want to see stuff with the basic fundamentals.
Yeah. Go back to the basics. And that's kind of what the coordinators were harping on this week. And it was Denard Wilson, I believe, was talking about, we need to go back to the basics. How basic do you need to go? Like, I don't want to say it's not hard, because the NFL is the highest level of American football in the world. But how basic do you need to go to look competent?
It's easy for him to say that we need to go back to the basics, because they just got rid of Jarvis Brownlee Jr. This team's 0-3. They have to go back to the basics. They have no other option. If they don't go back to the basics, guess what happens? Bye-bye.
But don't worry. Jalen Armour Davis is coming in, and he's going to look great.
Love to hear that. I am so pumped. So pumped.
615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to get in on the conversation. Coming up next, it is myself and Nick Frazier on the air today.
Yes.
So we will take some elements from the Saturday show and bring them to Friday. It's Where Are They Now? Duels. So you and I are going to go at it 5-on-5, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm ready.
You won't want to miss it. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier right here on Chase and Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Jason Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. About to play our favorite game, but real quick, let me tell you that the Blue Raiders will take on Kennesaw State tomorrow at 5 p.m. Catch all of the action on Totally Hits 93.3 with coverage also available on the Totally Hits Nashville app and at totallyhitsnashville.com. All right. So you heard the music. You'll hear it again as we get this game underway. Where are they now? Usually this is a three-man game, but we've narrowed it down to two because I think this is an interesting concept we got going on here. The rules are 5 players. We are going to give each other 5 players and or coaches. The first 3 are in North America. That's the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And the final 2 are anywhere throughout the world. Our job is to guess where those players or coaches are now. It is 1 point if you get the specific league. That's like NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever. Could be CFL, could be UFL, any league in North America. It is 2 additional points if you guess the specific team. In the event of a tie, which will be interesting, I guess we'll give each other career paths of a former or a current professional athlete based on the specific sport, and our job is to guess that. All right.
This will be tough.
Are we clear on the rules?
I think so.
Okay. Brandon Bigsby, hit that music. All right. You can turn it down just a little. Thank you. I'll go first, Frazier.
Okay.
Former Kentucky Wildcat.
Oh, boy.
And you knew it was coming with me on this show. Former Wildcat forward. Went pretty deep. Went to the Elite 8 and lost to Auburn. Where is PJ Washington playing today?
Oh, boy. PJ Washington, I'm going to say the G League. And he plays for the Miami Heat's G League team.
He is in the NBA.
Oh.
Playing for the Dallas Mavericks. He was involved in the Luka trade.
Oh, that's right. I thought he just kind of fell off after that trade.
He came over. I think it was in some fashion. He came over with Anthony Davis. Or no, I'm sorry. He was not. He was involved in the Charlotte Hornets trade.
Okay.
It was him for former volunteer Grant Williams.
Ah, okay.
So he is Dallas Maverick. Ofer.
I'm over.
To start out.
Okay, going to the wonderful game of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready for this. Oldest pitcher in the majors right now, active pitcher.
Charlie Morton.
Rich Hill.
Oh, Rich Hill.
Nickname is Dick Mountain. That's because of his first and last name.
What now?
Dick Mountain. That's his nickname because his name is Rich Hill. Nickname for Rich is Dick, and then Hill, mountain, get it, the height.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you have to say, where is he? Go ahead.
Okay.
Where is he now?
I think Dick Mountain is playing in the majors. I will say he is playing for the Athletics.
Incorrect. He is in the majors.
Okay.
Kansas City Royals.
Ah.
He's played for 17 major league teams. So it's kind of crazy.
So that's more than half of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, seriously. He's
ridiculous.
Been in the minors. He's been everywhere. So I guess it's 1-0.
I am up 1-0.
So you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go.
Okay. Go
Or
ahead.
we can go snake if you want.
You go ahead.
Okay. Titans legend, former Titans returner, and he was just beautiful at it.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually. Former Georgia Bulldog, Kieris Jackson.
This is the cornerback, isn't he?
Yes.
Wasn't he drafted by the Eagles?
Yes.
Kieris Jackson?
Yeah.
I think so. I say he is now in the UFL playing for the San Antonio Brahmas.
All right, he's in the NFL playing for the Houston Texans.
Man.
So a revenge game coming up on Sunday.
Was
for
he
Kieris
drafted
Jackson.
by the Eagles?
Believe so.
Okay. All right.
So I am still up 1-0.
All right.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. Going to basketball. Your cup of tea.
All right. That's my thing.
PJ Tucker.
Oh.
Yes. Power forward, small forward. Went to the University of Texas.
Dude, still in the league. Holy crap.
Drafted by the Toronto Raptors. Where is PJ Tucker?
I know where he was last, but I don't know if they bought him out. I'm going to say PJ Tucker is in the NBA.
Okay.
Playing for the Milwaukee Bucks.
You have half that right.
Oh.
He is in the NBA. Last team to play for in 25 was the New York Knicks.
Oh, I was
which
awesome.
is surprising. I was surprised by that.
Wow.
Being a
He's
Knicks
a
fan.
Knick.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Okay. So little by little.
So
we're
you're up
playing
2-0.
small ball
Look
right
at
now.
you hitting singles.
All right, this is a fun one. Former Nashville Sound and major leaguer. Where is Monte Harrison?
Monte Harrison. I believe, if I know this correctly, Monte Harrison made the conversion to football and is playing at the University of Arkansas as a tight end. And he's like, what, 30 years old?
Look at you go, Nick Frazier.
And we have a tie ball game.
There we go. Whoa, you're ahead.
Oh, I got it on the
3-2.
nose. That's right. 3-2.
Monte Harrison, as a 30-year-old, is playing for the Arkansas Razorbacks as a tight end. He's walking on there.
Oh,
So
it was a walk-on. I thought he was a preferred. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. Walk-on, preferred walk-on.
walk-on is non-existent at this point.
Yeah.
So Nick Frazier leads 3-2.
It's crazy. All right, here we go.
Game changes quickly.
It does. My last one for North America. It is still in baseball. I feel like baseball is a good category for all this. Jose Abreu
Oh,
had his stint with the Chicago White Sox for the longest time.
sucked for the Astros.
Yep. Where is Jose Abreu?
Okay, I think he's playing in AAA somewhere. I know he got DFA'd by the Astros.
Correct.
I'm going to say he's in the AL somewhere. I'll say he is playing for the Baltimore Orioles affiliate.
He is not in the, I guess you would call it
MILB.
MILB. He is in the, let's see, the Winter League baseball team, the San Juan Senadores, the Senators, I assume. So, yeah, that's that.
Where is this?
It's in North America.
Okay.
I believe San Juan.
San Juan.
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still lead 3-2.
Back to you. This is international now.
Oh, we're international.
Yeah.
Sticking with baseball.
Oh, boy.
Maybe the greatest Linsanity run in baseball history. Where is former Los Angeles Dodger Yasiel Puig?
Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, man. Yasiel Puig is in the KBO. Plays left field for the... Oh, I'm going to go for the Seoul Tigers.
The Seoul Tigers.
I don't know.
So you'll have to help me out on this one.
Sure.
It says South Korea. I'm not sure if that's in the KBL.
KBO.
KBO. Korean Baseball Organization, right?
Yeah. Let's see. It should be.
He is in South Korea.
Yeah. It is KBO.
Okay.
All right, sweet. All right,
So he's playing for the Kiwam Heroes.
Kiwam?
Kiwam
Okay, Kiwam.
in South Korea.
All right. So I'm up 4-2. Is that right?
You are. You have a
Okay.
2-goal lead.
All right. Going back to basketball.
They say 2 goals is the most dangerous lead in sports.
Indeed it is. Going back to basketball, your cup of tea. former SEC basketball player from Memphis, Tennessee,
Oh.
and was drafted by the Miami Heat in 2012. Went to school at Mississippi State. Where is Arnett Moultrie?
Oh, I remember Arnett Moultrie. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'll go with Old Faithful. He's playing in Lithuania for the Lithuanian Ponies.
Incorrect. He's in the Taiwan Basketball League, professional basketball league for the Kawaswang Aquas. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that was my second guess.
Yeah. Oh, so close. All right. Back to you. Toss it back over the net.
Sticking with basketball, Cleveland Cavaliers legend won a championship with LeBron James in 2016. Where is an exciting white point guard, Matthew Dellavedova?
Oh man, he was legit with Cleveland back.
Yeah,
in the
he
day.
was.
Oh, where is Matthew Dellavedova? I'm gonna go. He's playing in Europe, especially it's gonna be in France. Matthew Dellavedova is playing in France for Nice.
He's playing in Australia
Oh,
for the Sydney Kings.
for the Kings.
Kings. The
Oh,
Kings.
Kings.
So you lead 4-2. I need every bit of this one.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Baseball.
Oh, God.
Framil Valdez.
Oh, we were just talking about Framil Valdez yesterday. You know how guys just like sit around and name former players?
Yep. He is obviously a Dominican Republic player. He MLB stats. Well, yeah, I can say this because it's overseas now. Yeah. 249 batting average, 108 home runs, and 285 RBIs.
Oh, man.
Where is
He was
Framil
good,
Valdez?
too.
Yeah.
He was really
I say
good.
Valdez. I meant Reyes. Excuse me. Framil Reyes.
Oh, different player.
Yeah. Valdez, Astro.
Yeah.
Sorry. Framil Reyes.
Reyes.
Excuse me.
Former White Sox. I'm going to say he went back home to the DR.
Okay.
And is playing for this is always the hard part. The Dominican Tigers.
He is playing in the, I believe you could call it the Nippon Professional Baseball League.
Oh, come on.
For the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. So the Ham Fighters.
The Ham Fighters.
Ham Fighters. Okay.
What a name.
Interesting.
So you win.
Yeah.
In an epic proportion.
4-2.
I threw Monte Harrison at you thinking I would throw you off and underestimated you.
Friend of the show. Loves the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get Jeff Hem to get us in connection with him.
Yeah, we could do that.
What's it like being Unk on the Arkansas team?
They play Notre Dame this week.
Yeah.
That's
at home.
Yeah.
In Fayetteville.
Hey, you know who's going to be there? Lou Holtz.
Lou Hulk?
Holtz. Did I say that wrong? Sorry.
Lou Hulk?
Lou Hulk. Oh, I get you. Yeah. My bad. But hey, fun game.
Yeah. So you win our first edition of the duel.
Thank you.
Look
ladies
at you.
and gentlemen.
We'll get you a belt.
Yeah, I would love that. There's a trophy right there in the corner. I might grab that trophy.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think that's a last place trophy, but
I was a part of that last place trophy.
Oh, so it's yours.
Yeah.
I know the ringleader behind that last place trophy. He's no longer with us. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, Uncle Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver, will join us next. I got some questions to ask him about L'Jarius Sneed. Plus, he's got a big high school game tonight, so we got to get him ready for that. On Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2 of Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier filling in for Charles and Joseph as they are off doing some cloud storage stuff over in Rayon City. Are you excited about the Ryder Cup?
I mean, it's the most patriotic sporting event minus Four Nations Cup.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that make me feel patriotic and good about myself, we say hello to our good friend, forever Titans wide receiver, Chris Sanders. What's up, Uncle Chris?
Man, I'm doing good. Y'all doing all right? What is Joe them doing? They're doing what now?
They have an important meeting with some cloud storage over in Rayon City.
Cloud storage. What the heck does that mean?
That's a great question,
Chris. It's something they're really good at. I know Chase McCabe's really good at it. I mean, his whole wall in his office is just full of plaques.
Okay, good.
So just know that if you have a problem with your computer, call those two guys. They're really good at it.
So just imagine if I said I got to miss the show because I got to do some cloud storage. What the heck is
Hey, I mean, crazy
God.
times you're living, Chris. The
Absolutely.
Chase's face is all over Times Square because of this stuff.
I'm just kidding. He's a good deal. Those are two of my favorite dudes, man.
Absolutely.
So Chris, before we get into the Titans, I know you got a big game tonight over in Big Red Country against Baylor. How are we feeling about that? How are the guys feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. I mean, Baylor's good. I mean, they got some big time players. They got a running back, number 0, who's phenomenal. They got some receivers. They got a quarterback. I mean, it's a team that's a force to be reckoned with. But at the end of the day, just like when I went to Ohio State and Michigan, when we beat Michigan, we get these little gold pants, and that means that they put in their pants just like we do. So we have that same motto. They may be big, strong, and physical, but they put in their pants just like we do. So we're going to go out and try to do some things.
There we go. We're pulling for you tonight. We want the Nashville team to take out the team out east. All right, so let's get into the Titans. I wanted to ask you about L'Jarius Sneed. I think it was TD, your boy TD, asked L'Jarius Sneed about Nico Collins and how he can contain him. And L'Jarius Sneed kept responding, who, in sort of a trash talk way.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Do you think L'Jarius has kind of dug himself a grave against the top 10 receiver in the NFL?
Hey, you go look on the roster and you find a guy that's the 5th stringer. Like I'm looking at their roster now. Go tell Braxton Burrows that. You don't want to tell Nico Collins that. Nico Collins is a dude, a guy that's explosive. I think he made the Pro Bowl a couple of times. So you don't want to get a guy like that going, because if you look at their record right now, they're 0-3 and they need a spark. And when you got a guy like Nico Collins that is a big time wide receiver, you just got to be careful with what you ask for.
Oh, absolutely, Chris, you're right. When you played back in the day, Chris, and somebody be jawing like that, I mean, that had to fuel you to a whole nother level, right?
It did. I mean, even my rookie season, I came out, we were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. So we had a defensive back named Brim. He was talking stuff. Oh, you're just a rookie. You're not going to come out there and say anything. 2 touchdowns, 2 catches for 106. That's how you speak. So I love the jaw talking. I love all the trash talking. But at the end of the day, I have to go out there and make plays, because you better believe there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be talking out there.
And Chris, to the next point on the offensive side of the ball, obviously Bo Hardegree takes over play calling duties.
Yeah.
It just, when you played as well, when you had the whole quarterback situation with Steve and, just back and forth,
right?
Is this going to hurt Cam Ward in the long run when it comes to play calling duties for Bo Hardegree?
I don't think so. I think that sometimes you just need a change of scenery. You just need a change of a voice. And I'm not saying Brian Callahan wasn't that guy, but look at the pedigree that Bo Hardegree has. I mean, he coached for 16 years. He's a play caller with the Raiders. I mean, he coached Mac Jones, Derek Carr, and they both had kind of like Pro Bowl seasons. But the one thing that I think this is going to help Cam Ward is because, number one, they have a relationship. He sees them every day. He's in a meeting with them every day. He talks to them. They eat together, do all those things that you need to have that relationship. Because when I was with the Tennessee Titans, Les Steckel was he was my receiver coach. Then he became the offensive coordinator. And I asked him a while ago, I said, what made you and Steve special? He said the relationship piece. So once he keeps building that relationship piece with Cam Ward, I think they can turn this ship around.
We're talking to Chris Sanders, presented by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, home of the $99 yearly Beehive, where the membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Mm-hmm. So, Chris, on the Bo Hardegree front, I feel like in order for the play calling to be more successful under Hardegree, the offense needs to be more Cam Ward centric, which I didn't feel was that case when Brian Callahan was calling plays. Do you feel that that is the case? And if so, how do you think they can make it more Cam-centric?
I just think they can't put Cam in a bad position, and I'm gonna tell you why. You can't start a game off and run the ball, and now all of a sudden it's second in 14. I mean, as a play caller, how you get in kind of rhythm? You know, when I played with the Tennessee Titans, we had our 15 plays that we had, and we tried to stay with the rhythm of those 15 calls. And when you have a situation to where you look at last week when they went against the Colts, I think it was second or third down. All of a sudden, Cam throws an interception. Then now you're out of rhythm. Now you're playing catch up as opposed to staying with those 15 plays that you called. So I just think that with Bo, he's done it with the Raiders. He's got to get some rhythm. He's got to do things. He's got to do the rollouts. He's got to do the nakeds to where that Cam Ward feels comfortable of what he's doing. Because if you look at the plays that Cam made, and a couple of weeks ago when he threw it to Ellick, the touchdown in the end zone, he was making plays when he felt comfortable. He didn't get rattled. So I think that with Bo Hardegree, he's got to make sure he does the exact same thing. Put him in a position to where he's comfortable so he can make some plays.
Chris Sanders is with us here on the Chase and Big Joe show. Earlier this week, Chris, the Titans made the trade with Jarvis Brownlee Jr. to the Jets, receiving a 6th-round pick for 2026 in return. Obviously, there have been the rumors about attitude and what it was in the locker room, whatever it may be. Being in the NFL in years past, how does that affect the locker room? And do you see potentially some trades to unfold after this as well if the Titans keep trending in the direction they are?
I mean, it could be. I don't really know the situation with Brownlee, but if that was the case, you're already 0-3, and when you start having guys like that, I'm not saying he did it because I really don't know, but if that was a situation to where he was being a cancer in the locker room, then you have to get rid of guys like that because you're already losing. You already have a bad taste in your mouth. Everybody's mad. Everybody's grumbling. But if you have a guy that's been a sore in that locker room, you have to get him out. And then just kind of looking at this roster of some guys that might get traded. I don't know. I mean, maybe Jeffrey Simmons, maybe some guys like that to where you can get some value, get a first and second round, and start building up this roster, start building up the depth of this team.
Last one for you, Chris. On the defensive side for the Texans, they possess probably a top 3 cornerback in the NFL in Derek Stingley Jr. What do the Titans receivers need to do to get open against that guy?
I mean, they're going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to be technically sound. And I think that, whoever is not on Stingley, then the other guy needs to make play. Because what you can do is, because probably Stingley's going to be following Calvin really or Ellick. But at the end of the day, once they follow one of those receivers, those other receivers need to get open, like Lockett and DK and Chig. Those guys need to really get open because you can take your number one guy out if he's following one of their number one wide receivers. But at the end of the day, these are the challenges that you want. If I'm Calvin Ridley, everybody's talking about how bad I'm doing. Everybody's talking about I'm not a good receiver. Everybody's talking about how many of the drops I have. He has 4 drops. That's the worst in the NFL right now. And then he has, 8 catches on 21 targets. So this is a great stinking opportunity to go against the best corner and light his behind up and change the narrative of what they've been saying about you.
He is forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders, our good buddy. Chris, thanks a lot for joining us.
Man, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Y'all take care.
Good luck tonight against the Red Raiders. Take them down for us.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Chris Sanders, presented by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service.
Don't you feel better?
Always so hard to say goodbye to that guy.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Just want to go to lunch and have a long afternoon.
I want to have a drink with him. I don't think he drinks, but I want to have a drink with him.
It's good grilled cheese and a cheeseburger.
Dude, I want a cheeseburger so bad right now. Thanks for telling me that.
You're welcome.
I won't be able to eat till 3, but I could take one right now. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, Nick Frazier has a theory about what the Titans need to do for Cam Ward.
I do. I
don't necessarily agree with it. We'll get to that next here on the other side. But first, let me tell you, the Commodores will take on Utah State tomorrow at First Bank Stadium. Pregame begins at 10 a.m. on 102.5 The Game with kickoff at 11:45 a.m. Vanderbilt football brought to you by Gary Force Acura, Jimmy Kelly Steakhouse, and Smoky Mountain Tops. Also, tomorrow's college football game of the week is Oregon versus Penn State at 6:30 on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks Restaurants and Circus Sportsbook Kentucky. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and thegamenashville.com. We will get to the conversation next on the other side. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier filling in for Chase and Joe here on the Chase and Big Joe show on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, right here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier filling in for Charles and Joseph as they are off. They're doing cloud storage, right?
Yep, cloud
I've gotten my
storage.
stories mixed up because I know Chase did his fantasy rock and roll camp a couple weeks back.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks back. Good for him on that. I think they did some sort of like.
I heard Rat and Whitesnake were there with him.
Yep. I mean, Chase just has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The cloud storage thing.
He's
and
a fun guy.
He is, man. I mean, good for him. He's living the high life right
He's
now.
fun for such an untalented loser. He's a fun guy.
Do what now?
You wouldn't get it.
Over my head.
So you have a theory on what the Titans should do with Cam Ward at some point this season. Please present.
Yeah, we've seen this story multiple times, Connor. The Titans' offensive line has been nothing but terrible this entire season.
Yeah.
We saw it with Ryan Tannehill on the latter years of that. With the hip drop tackle, he had the whole ankle injury there. He was out for a couple weeks, or he played on an injured leg. It didn't really pan out well for the Titans. You saw, the worst of it all with Will Levis's shoulder. Obviously, you said that's on him.
Yeah.
But the whole shoulder thing led to the absolute domino effect of that. And now you have Cam Ward here. And I saw on Tehran's Twitter, Cam Ward was on the injury report this week, limited in some fashion, and then was a participant in another practice, but it had ankle on there. And I'm thinking in my head, ankle injury, and then not an injury, but just ankle preface on the injury report. I saw, TD put out another picture. I think it was at practice a couple of days ago. Cam Ward was practicing without any wrap on his ankle or any brace, whatever that is, which is all great signs. That's great. But when it comes to the long-term effect of Cam Ward, this is the franchise quarterback. If you don't have an offensive line out there, why are you going to hurt your prized possession and basically ruin your future? So I'm in the camp that the Titans probably should start picking and choosing the games they need to play Cam Ward. I know that may hinder the development process of it, whatever it may be. But if you're going out there and your offensive line is not, keeping him upright or he's getting hurt, I think you have to start considering an alternative for the season. If they're 0-6 after New England or 0-7 later on in the season, and he's developing, which is great, and they know what they have in him, they have in a quarterback in Cam Ward for the future, what's the purpose of playing him even more? To get him hurt? No.
I have a hard time agreeing with you, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you pull a rookie quarterback in his first year as the starter, you are only stunting his confidence and stunting his growth. Now, I understand injury could play a factor in that, and if a quarterback gets injured, then that might also lead to the same result. But I don't agree with the sentiment that you need to bench your quarterback out of the fear of the unknown.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
I get I get the injury concerns, but Cam Ward could injure himself falling down the stairs today. He could injure himself doing something completely simple and such a human task on a day-to-day basis. Playing football, I understand, it's a contact sport, and he doesn't have the offensive line to protect him, and he could easily go down with a concussion like Tua Tagovailoa.
Right.
But at the same time, he is a rookie quarterback. He's got to learn to go through his progressions, battle through the grit and the toughness of the sport as well as injury. And I think if he can do that, then that's a sign that he is going to be a good quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to all that, but you got to just be a little bit cautious because right now I'm, as a Titans fan, worried for the health of Cam Ward going forward.
Oh, I am too.
Because this is the NFL. It stands for not for long. There are edge rushers out there that will eat him alive if Dan Moore Jr. doesn't show up one day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they'd be playing with one less lineman at that point. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Titans have been somewhat serviceable, but not to the point where he could have 4 or 5 seconds to throw a football in the pocket.
And this is a conversation that I've heard Robbie and Joe have in the morning. Brian Callahan plays a factor into this because I am under the impression that Callahan is a detriment to Cam Ward. And he himself, through his play calling, and now we'll see how it looks this Sunday with Bo Hardegree calling the plays, I have a gut feeling that it's not going to look too much different. I feel Brian Callahan's play calling is stunting the growth of Cam Ward.
Agreed.
I feel that he is playing it too conservative and too afraid to let Cam Ward do Cam Ward. That Cam Ward is not going to become the great Cam Ward. And I'm not saying he's going to be a surefire Hall of Famer, but Cam Ward is not going to become the franchise quarterback the Titans expect him to be under these, guidelines that Brian Callahan has set through play calling. It's just not going to happen. And we've said this time and time again, and I'll say it right now. It's not a question of will Brian Callahan be fired? It's a question of when will he? And I think that's coming pretty soon. But I feel that Brian Callahan plays a factor into Cam Ward's health and Cam Ward's confidence because he has not done him any favors throughout this season. Play calling has been atrocious. It's been conservative, run the ball. Oh, we're going to play for a field goal. I heard Joe talk about this, or Joe Dubin talk about this. That halftime interview from Brian Callahan was essentially him confessing that, yeah, we're going to play for a field goal. I trust Joey Sly to go out there and nail a 67-yard field goal, which is very rarely done in the NFL. We just want to play for some sort of points. We don't want to play aggressive. And that's my problem with Brian Callahan, and that's why he doesn't do any favors for Cam Ward.
Hey, described it earlier, dysfunctional conservative play calling. That's what it is. And I think it all stems back to the Denver game when you're going into halftime with the lead and you go and throw 4 or 3 passes on your own 2-yard line, something like that. And you give the ball right to Denver. For me, when I see that, and you make a great point, is it hindering Cam Ward's growth a little bit as a rookie quarterback? Absolutely. And I think it all stems from that one sequence of plays in Denver. And as a pro quarterback, Cam Ward's handling it well, saying, I'm just here doing my job.
And even beyond Cam Ward, this is more of a Brian Callahan complaint than a Cam Ward. I feel he's losing the locker room.
Oh, I think he's already lost it.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's already lost it.
I think you've seen multiple players voice their concern. The Tennessean just did an article, as Dustin in Hopkinsville shares with us, but I read it a couple days ago. Calvin Ridley is voicing frustration upon being in this situation. I think you're going to see some other guys voice some frustration, whether that's a Jeffrey Simmons or a veteran on this team voice frustration because they didn't sign here to be the worst team in the NFL. They signed here to rebuild this franchise and compete for a championship. And that's a very, very unrealistic expectation for this team this year. But at the same time, you're looking to set a culture. That's the problem. This team has no culture right now. It's a bunch of losers. And I don't want to label them as losers, but it is. They're not going to win games. They look tired. You heard Michael Pittman this past Sunday say the same thing. They don't want to play football. They look scared. They look tired. They look so bought out on the program that I don't blame them, the Colts, for calling them out. And they should be calling them out because when the team, and I understand it's a rival, but when a team's opposing player says, well, they looked sluggish, and that's when we knew we were going to dominate this game, and then they go out and dominate the game, that says a lot to me about the culture that's going on in that locker room.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard any of the audios from, when TD or PK, Paul Karski, when they go into the locker room to interview players on their phones or whatever it is, listen to the background noise.
Yeah.
That sounds like
silence.
No, it wasn't silence. It was just chaos. It sounded like they were having a party in the locker room.
Hey, they got a ping pong table in there.
See, I haven't been to the facility. If there's a ping pong table in there, then they're just having fun. They're just passing time.
They're collecting a paycheck.
Don't get me wrong. I get Callahan at the beginning of the season was like, yeah, I just want the team to have some bonding. Hopefully the preseason will give some bonding, so forth. Maybe that's them bonding in a 0-3 situation. But if you're 0-3, man, I'd be hitting the books. I'd be doing.
I'd be on that field.
Yeah, like Cam Ward spends every practice, from what we know from the media, that an extra hour. That's why he's late to every podium interview, is because he's putting in extra work. Good for him.
I feel like Brian Callahan, after a game, goes into that coach's meeting room with all the coaches and says something that someone we know says all the time. Well, what do we do? How do I fix it? I think that's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, Along those lines, yes. I wouldn't say exactly, but yes, along those lines.
Not directly.
Yeah.
Not
Not directly.
Not directly.
Yeah.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Our phone and text line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get to your texts and phone calls next on the other side and continue the conversation surrounding Cam Ward. Should they sit him? Should the Titans sit him at some point if Brian Callahan and the play calling is such a detriment to him? We'll do that next on the other side. Real quick, let me tell you, this Sunday, the NFL game of the week on 94.9 The Fan is the Packers and the Cowboys in a Micah Parsons homecoming game. It should be fun. At 7:20 p.m., NFL game of the week presented by Circus Sportsbook Kentucky and Massaro and 12 South. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier filling in for Chase and Joe on the Chase and Big Joe Show here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly BI membership, where the buzz is always about great service. DVD with Willie Donick, Derek Mason, and Adam Vingen will be broadcasting live from 3 to 6 today at Jimmy Kelly's Steakhouse as they celebrate the opening of their all-new rooftop dining area and bar. It's also a great place to go before or after Vanderbilt games. Vanderbilt, of course, playing Utah State this weekend in the game before the game of the season for them as they take on Alabama next week. But right now we are talking about the Titans. Should the Titans consider sitting Cam Ward at some point this season to save his health? And if so, do you think Brian Callahan is a detriment to the growth of Cam Ward? We've got some texts and callers on our phone line. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com and welcome in Gorilla to the program. Gorilla, go ahead.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, my man?
Check this out, man. I want to make a statement real fast about the lackluster performance from the team and the attitude of the team. Early word from our training camp was that the team wasn't. They were coming out flat during practices and all types of things. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm just looking at that. That kind of feel like just taking on the personality of the coach. Secondly, man, with the Cam deal, when I heard that he was injured, my first initial thought was I would sit him, protect him from himself, because we don't want something that's going to linger on throughout 2-3 years. We've been down this road before. I mean, I want to see the kid play. He's the only bright spot that we have. And thirdly, these guys, man, they're in the locker room after a loss, cheering, having a party, and kicking it amongst each other. Like, I mean, come on, man, that spells losing culture. Because I heard the same thing when TD and PK would go into the locker room. It sounded like they won the game. I mean, you're not cool with you're cool with losing. I mean, we've had this before, guys. I mean, it's that coach, guys. It's the coach. The team takes on the personality of the coach, man. I'm sorry. It's the coaching staff. Callahan has to go, guys, period.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Gorilla. I appreciate it. He made some very interesting points there, and I think
Gorilla's the man. He agrees with everything I just said. Thank you very much for the validation.
I agree with pretty much everything except for the notion to sit Cam Ward.
Well, like, here's the deal. When I mention sitting Cam Ward, I don't mean like right now. I mean like after New England, because in my opinion, there's no other game on the Titans schedule that is popcorn worthy to watch. I mean, you have the Chiefs in December. I get all that.
Oh, they play the Saints, man. It's going to be great.
The battle for
They're going to play at 8 a.m. on Cartoon Network. Tune in.
Yeah, I'd love to watch that one. I'd just get my cereal ready to watch that. But no, it's just after that New England game, for me, there's no popcorn worthy games to watch. And if you sit Cam Ward after that or just have him play a game here, there, whatever, I know it messes up the momentum, but Gorilla's right. You don't want to hurt the future of your franchise. And like he said, we've been down this road before. Like I prefaced earlier with Tannehill, with Levis, even Mariota had a few injuries here and there. But like, don't go down the same road that this team. I think this team, obviously, we all know money is the root of all evil, and money kind of drives all this. That's your number one overall draft pick. Mm-hmm. But if you put money aside and actually focus on the future of this franchise and not be worried about the almighty dollar, this team could be good. It really could be. And I think if you do the right things, you take the right precautions, and everything on that same sentiment, this team could be good within 2 to 3 years.
Look, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But at the same time, I feel like if you bench Cam Ward and you sit him, maybe you have good intentions of keeping him healthy and keeping him preserved for the future. But I feel like you're also damaging your future by sitting him, because once you bench a quarterback at that age, that hurts their confidence and that hurts their psyche. And you look, Cam Ward has proven that he is an unshakable guy confidence-wise, and you can hear that through his press conferences and even just his demeanor on the field. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you pull him out at any point this season, then you're hurting that. Because that, to me, tells me this organization does not believe in me. And obviously that's not the case because they drafted him at number 1. But to me, if I'm the player, That to me would scream, this organization doesn't think that I can win this team a game.
Now, I don't encourage tanking. Let's use an example here. Say the Titans are 2-11, right?
I wouldn't hate losing.
Exactly. I wouldn't hate losing either. Say they're 2-11. They have the second worst record in the NFL minus the Saints. The Saints have the worst record. And just this fantasy land idea. That's when you sit Cam Ward, man. I think you already have the resume of what you saw in year one under Cam Ward. There's no need to play him anymore because all those games at that point are pointless, in my opinion. Because if you're trying to get the top overall pick, there's no reason to play a guy like that. And that wouldn't be considered tanking per se. That's just basically securing the future of your franchise, making sure he doesn't get hurt.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
If the Chiefs, for whatever reason, season continues to go off the rails and they are in that same boat, do you bench Patrick Mahomes?
They're in a different situation. I know that's kind of not answering your question directly, but Patrick Mahomes, they've all made their money. They've won their Super Bowls. If they want to bench him, that's fine.
My point is,
I know
Patrick Mahomes is the leader of that team.
I know.
Cam Ward wears that captain patch on his chest.
Yep.
There's a reason for that, because they believe in him and they believe that he is the future of this franchise. If you take him out and you sit him, I think that contradicts everything you've said about him. To me, I feel like I want to see Cam Ward play every game this year, no matter how bad they are, because I want to see what the kid has. And so far, I don't want to say I've been overly impressed with everything, but I thought he's looked fine. He's looked like a competent quarterback. And I realize you've had instances in the history of this franchise where you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. Vince Young and Marcus Mariota, and even Will Levis had a couple of games where we thought he was going to be the guy. Obviously, none of those guys panned out. So I think to further solidify the litmus test that you're running on Cam Ward, you leave him in and you let him play and you let him go through his progressions and you let him connect with, your receivers, and you let him go through the frustrations of being on a bad team. Because once you have a good team and you have the pieces around him, you've developed him. You've helped his confidence by leaving him in and going through the rough patches. And if you're a competitive team, that's only going to help him because he's going to have the ability to connect with his offense. If Alec Iomanner is what he's shown he has been the past 3 weeks for the rest of his career, then you've got a guy that you can trust on your offense. The Titans are not an Alec Iomanner away from being a contender.
Right.
You've got to draft some guys in the upcoming drafts. And I think you need to get another guy that Cam Ward can connect with, an elite level receiver at the top of the draft. You've got to get some pieces on defense. You've got to get someone to hit the quarterback. You've got to get a corner. You've got to get pretty much everything figured out on the offensive line. There is a lot of work to do for the Tennessee Titans. But to Gorilla's point, Cam right now is the one bright spot on this team. And I feel like if you sit him down, you're putting a cloud over the sunshine.
Yeah, but it'd be late in the season. That's what I'm trying to say. It's late in the season when you'd be benching the guy. Like the evaluation's already done. That's the whole thing I'm trying to explain here. The evaluation's done on a guy like that. He's good. Cam, you don't have to prove anything else, man. Get ready for year 2. Like, again, if I was probably a GM or a head coach, I'd probably be fired because that would be the case because nobody would want to see their number 1 overall draft pick be benched in the 14th week of the season. So I get that, but I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. You're not wrong. I think you're absolutely in the
No, I think it's a good conversation to have because it kind of shows the different spectrums of the fan base.
Yeah, because with Gorilla, he said that I was kind of on the right side of the boat in some aspects, and you're on the other side. But like, you make a great point. So I don't know. 615-737-125. I really want to. I want to hear more from the Titans fan base if you agree or disagree with potentially sitting Cam Ward later on in the season.
And we do have some of your texts to get to, and we will do that on the other side. Again, 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. If you want to get in on the conversation later in the season, if the Titans season continues to go down the poop hole, would you sit Cam Ward? Nick Frazier says yes. I say no. We're interested to hear your thoughts if you want to chime in. We'll get to that on the other side here on the Chase and Big Joe Show on 102.5 The Game. DVD with Willie Donick, Derek Mason, and Adam Vingen will be broadcasting at the all-new Circa Sportsbook Kentucky in the Mint Gaming Hall this Monday prior to the Monday Night Football games. Head up there and watch the Jets and Dolphins and Bengals and Broncos games. Plus, ask about Circa's giveaway of a trip to Las Vegas for the Titans-Raiders game in October. Welcome back in. Chase and Big Joe, Charles and Joseph are both unavailable today. So Connor Newt, myself, Nick Frazier himself are in today, getting you covered on all the latest with the two-tone blue. So we've asked the question, and we've had kind of a healthy debate about this. Notice I said healthy. Frazier thinks that if it gets late in the season and the Titans are super out of it, the Titans should consider sitting Cam Ward. I disagree. It doesn't matter what we think. We're interested to hear what you think. So let's get to some of your texts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, 615-737-1025. 8566 says, no, you can't sit Ward. That's like telling a new teenage driver he's not allowed to drive in the rain because it's too dangerous. At some point, he has to learn how to drive in the rain. I agree. That's what I've been trying to say. You cannot, put the training wheels back on Cam Ward and sit him down when he's already tasted the big time. That is just a detriment to his confidence. And to the texter's point, if a teen driver is in the rain and is told not to drive in the rain because it's dangerous, what does that do to the driver's confidence? And what is that risk?
Makes him cautious.
Yeah.
It makes him a little
hurts
nervous.
His confidence. My parents don't trust me to drive. I can't go out in the big city and hang out with my friends in high school.
It's fair.
So what that means for Cam Ward is this organization doesn't trust me.
Well, think of it this way. Say it's week 14, say Mike Borgonzi, Chad Brinker, and let's say at the time, let's say Brian Callahan's out of the equation. Say he's fired, okay, by week 14. Say he's fired. So say it's those three. They're sitting in an office room, and they say, hey, Cam. And say it's, I don't know, whoever the interim head coach will be, or maybe it's Bo Hardegree, the play caller, and they're talking with them. Cam, how would you like to just I know you're a competitor. We get it. Love the fire, the energy out of you. But I think for the benefit of this team, we've seen what we've seen out of you for the season. I think it's safe for us to keep you on the bench. And if we need to put you in there, we'll put you in there. But don't look at this as a knock on your development. Don't look at this as a knock on your play on the field. You're a really good quarterback. You are the future of this franchise. We even unretired number one, Warren Moon's number for you. I think we know what we have in you. We want to make sure you're healthy for the long term. We want to bring a Super Bowl to Nashville. Are you okay with that?
Gunnar on our text line says the Titans can't get Callahan away from Cam quick enough. But what about the defense? What has he done to help them? Both of those kicks at the end put the D in a bind. Luckily, it wasn't 2 touchdowns. Any coach that has clue punts and makes the Colts drive the field. Interesting. What better way to get better than missing snaps? It's not the preseason. It's real football. And I think that's the thing I'm running with the most. This isn't the preseason. You can't just take him out if he looks rough. You got to let him go through it. You got to let him go through the trials and tribulations of NFL football because that's how he's going to learn.
I agree with all y'all, but at the same time, when it's late in the season, there's nothing to play for. If you're the Titans, you could be getting a top draft pick, and that top draft pick could turn into multiple draft picks. How do you rebuild a franchise? In the draft. Simple as that.
But if the Titans are going to be that bad, might as well just leave Cam Ward in. Because, as Matt on our text line says, inconsistency ruins quarterbacks more than anything else. I think he needs the experience and consistency. Experience is key in this conversation. I think if Cam Ward goes into next season and maybe they get an elite level wide receiver for him to throw the ball to, guess what? He's got a full year of NFL experience under his belt. And that's what he needs, especially as the number 1 pick. And I'm not going to say he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time because that is just completely asinine to think about.
Right.
But if you can get him the experience and build around him, I think he's shown you the flashes that he can be a pretty good quarterback in this league. So why would you bench him? That's just where I kind of stand on this.
It's fair. It's fair both ways. We got a caller here, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Justin and Oscarville. What's up, my man?
That is not Justin. That is Dustin with a D, boys.
Sorry.
That's right. That's right. I knew it was you. I knew it was you.
I wear glasses, Dustin. Sorry. My eyesight's getting pretty bad.
I knew it was you. What you got, Dustin?
I'm blind in one eye and I can't see out of the other. So there you go.
What you got, Dustin?
I think it's a double-edged sword. Like the other day, they were talking about Cam put too much on the ball and the receiver needs to catch it. It's another double-edged sword. Like, I'm going to tell you the solution for Cam Ward, not for the Titans, but the solution for Cam Ward is for Amy to say, who wants Cam Ward for a bunch of number 1 picks or 2s or whatever, because I see us ruining him before we develop him. All right? So, here's the one reason I upset him. If you can't keep this O-line from being injured, put his butt on the bench, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to have him running for his life, just like Will Levis. You're going to have that big spike sticking out of his shoulder, and he's going to be taking pictures, showing, why the real reason is you're benching him. It's going to be all this chaos. Do Cam Ward a favor. If you can't keep the O-line healthy, they can't keep him healthy either. So put him on the bench. Now, you leave him in to develop him. But if everything is ass cheeks, put your rookies in and put these guys out that can't catch the ball, see what DK's got, and put I-Manor number 1. See what you got in Bryce Oliver, and everybody's wanting a strip roll. Hey, throw him in the hat too, see what the boys got. But don't just continue with insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. Get Callahan the hell out of here. He's going to get him hurt. Because I said it's the first of the season. I give it 4 games and he's going to get Cam Ward hurt. And that is a trend with us. We just kill quarterbacks. So I'm going.
All right. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate it. Lots of words there from our friend Dustin, but I think he makes a good point. I think he makes an incredibly good point in that you can't go into this league and expect the same results every single week unless you want to lose.
Look, I know people are angry and aggravated. They don't want to see the rookie quarterback be on the bench, but Dustin clarified that for us. Like he just strengthened my argument earlier with Gorilla, mentioning if you're going to ruin them, we've seen the story before.
Yeah.
With Ryan Tannehill, with Will Levis, it's the same thing. For me, if it's late in the season, I'm not saying now, everybody. I'm not saying bench him this Sunday or next Sunday or the following Sunday. I'm saying late in the season. Simple as that. When you're out of contention for anything, minus the number 1 overall pick, when there's another team that's probably going to hold your destiny for it. Simple as that. You're not hurting anything at all. That's my argument. You're not hurting nothing late in the season.
I think you are. And I think that's my problem.
Okay.
If you guys don't mind me chiming in here, I do have one question to pose.
Go for it.
How much does this conversation change if Brian Callahan's not the head coach?
I don't think it changes all that much, because I think this is looking at this from a microscopic point of view. I think this is a franchise conversation and not a coaching conversation. I think coaching plays a factor into this, of course.
Yeah.
But I think if, as Dustin said, get Brian Callahan out of there, get someone in there that I think can help develop Cam Ward a little bit more, someone with a little more experience.
Yeah.
Then I think we're having a different conversation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to reach an agreement on this argument today. I think we're at a stalemate, and I think this is something we just got to watch play out over time.
And like I said at the beginning of this whole entire Cam Ward conversation, it may have been a premature topic to talk about, but I think it's something to be had.
Yeah, it is certainly a good conversation.
But to Brandon's point about the coaching thing, there's a small factor of it. It's the culture. When Brian Callahan's trying to establish a culture, now he's out of the door. They're already the culture.
And that's what a lot of you and myself included have been harping on. Yeah. These guys seem like they're okay with losing. They're in the locker room playing ping pong after a crushing loss to the Colts. They're in there jumping in the cold tub, going around swimming, whacking each other's asses with a couple of pool noodles just for some fun. That was
the point system. Yeah, something else.
The point system. It's this culture that Callahan has built, and it's a loser culture, and it's a loser mentality. Hell, Callahan, when he won that one game, was it against the Patriots? He got up to the podium and started crying. We really needed this.
I mean, at the time, I could understand why. I mean, not winning a lot of games, man. But it's
come on, man. Like,
hey, poetry in football. I mean, if you want to call it that, the guy just needed a little boost to his, self-esteem. I'm not gonna knock a guy for crying. I know it's a little bit.
Real men cry.
Yeah,
I cried yesterday.
I just don't know if
for a different reason. My body's in pain today. I don't know if I told you this. Last night I balled out in some intramural flag football, put my body on the line for the team. We ultimately got the W, but I'm in pain today.
He's in a contract year, folks.
Yeah.
Intramural football.
This is the last dance, everyone.
Yep.
This is the last dance. We got to go out with a championship. 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to chime in on the conversation. We'll continue this conversation and kind of wrap it up coming up next. Plus, we'll reset our question of the day for your chance to win tickets to the Yacht Rock concert. I don't remember the exact
February
name.
7th.
February 7th. Tickets before you can buy them. We will award the best text of our question of the day with those tickets. That's all coming up next here on the Chasing Big Joe Show. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier with you here on 102.5 The Game. Final hour here on Chase and Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier in for Charles and Joseph as they are off in Rayon City doing something with cloud storage, as they always are. Their faces are plastered all over Times Square for things like that. So
we'll find out later on today.
Yeah. I feel Chase just feels so close right now. Like I can just sense his presence.
Like almost like on the other side of a wall or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like we're in the same building or something. I don't know.
You
But
know,
I know he's not here.
It's that phrase, great minds think alike. Maybe the minds are closer than the body.
In the astral plane. You should do like a meditation class where you close your eyes.
Not while driving.
Not while driving. Yeah, don't do that while you're driving. Just kind of to wrap up our conversation we've been having.
Sure.
A lot of our texters are kind of very split, just like you and I are. Lee on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, 615-737-1025 if you want to chime in. Did they bench Peyton Manning to save him in his first year? Seems like it worked out okay for him and the Colts. I think that's an interesting point because we all know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts won a Super Bowl.
They did.
Now, I think it's worth noting that Peyton Manning had a rough go at it in his first year, led the league in interceptions, has the current record for interceptions thrown in a singular season. But he is right. It did work out well for them.
It did. I mean,
different situation.
Yeah, it's a different.
You had an offense around him. You had Reggie Wayne and guys like that. You know,
Marvin Harrison
Sr.
Let's not forget.
Jeff Saturday was snapping the ball.
Dallas Clark.
Yeah, you had an offensive line. That's the difference here. And that was a championship level team as it got, well, not in that year, but they were much closer to being that than the Titans are currently.
Yeah. To the whole point, I think Skyler makes a great point at all this, and it's kind of the same one you just mentioned with the whole Peyton Manning situation. Skyler mentioned they never should have started Cam Ward. I agree to that statement off the top, like on the surface of that. But if you look at this Titans team as a whole, not having Will Levis as the quarterback because of the shoulder thing, I don't think the way this kid Cam Ward carries himself, it would have worked out that way.
Yeah.
Like on paper, it seems like logical, but looking at this kid, you can't sit him on the bench initially. I think it's still in the cards that late in the season, out of contention, take a little seat, ride the pine a little bit.
And that's where I'm going to go with this next text from Gunner on our text line. You sit a starter when you've clinched playoffs, maybe, not a rookie who's still proving every moment matters. You could be taking away a game-winning drive, crucial 2-minute situations from him.
Now, what about this, Gunner? You said clinching playoffs. What if you're clinching the first overall pick? Can you sit him then?
No.
Am I missing something here?
Here's the thing. I don't think the Titans need the first overall pick this year.
I think they do.
I think they need a high pick.
I think they need the first overall pick because they could trade that bad boy back.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying they need a high pick, and whether they can weigh their options right there or not, you take an elite receiver or a edge rusher or something that high, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that or the prospects are not as good, someone's going to want a quarterback if you're drafting that high.
Yeah.
Trade back.
Yeah, I guess. I just think you just got to trade back number one overall pick. And if it is a quarterback, there's not a good quarterback class. That's the thing I'm harping on. I don't know if you can really look at this class and say we have a good quarterback class to choose from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jake said this, I think yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. They were kind of talking about the grand scheme of quarterbacks coming out of this upcoming draft class. And the top prospects have not performed to an NFL caliber level thus far. Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers especially. Cade Klubnik is currently on a 1-3 Clemson ball club, which I was very, very wrong about them, and I think we all were.
I'm at a loss of that.
Drew Aller, I guess you could say, has been the best of those, but they haven't played anyone.
This is the weekend.
Yeah, but we'll see a lot with him this upcoming weekend when they take on Oregon at home in Happy Valley, which you can hear right here on 102.5 The Game in our college football game of the week. But I think kind of just to wrap this conversation up, it's a stalemate. we're not going to know the answer of this one for quite some time. Ultimately, I just feel it's more important to get your guy experience and get your guy game reps to build that organizational trust in him rather than sit him just out of fear of injury. But that's just me. That's just how I feel. You feel differently.
I do.
A lot of texters feel differently than what you feel, and a lot of texters feel differently from what I feel.
I just think texters and Titans fans in general have the not assumption, but the feeling of, yeah, we're just fans. We want to see our team win. I get that. You have to look at this from a big window, big picture spectrum. This is a 3 to 4 year build process.
Mm.
Take it to the studs. And if it's 14 weeks in and they're near the bottom at like the number 2, number 1 overall spot, don't harm for injury. Don't put them in. Just sit them. So look, you're securing your future. And this, I'll end on this because that's all I can do from here on out. You're securing your future. You have this high draft pick you can trade back for draft capital. And on top of that, you have something to look forward to next season. Like this is a next season or next 2 seasons picture, not this season. People have to get this mindset of, oh, we need to win now, win now, win now. You'll get a few wins here and there, hopefully. And if the team goes defeated the whole year, then we're looking at something else. So I don't know. But that's all I'm saying.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Nick Frazier, reset our question of the day.
Yes. Speaking of the Titans and how weirdly bad they are, I don't know how else to describe them. They're just bad. The question of the day is, if the Titans were a warning label, what would it say? What would be on that warning label? 615-737-1025. Call or text. Best text wins tickets to see Yacht Club, right?
The Yacht Club. Tickets before you can buy them. Again, that show
February
is
7th.
February 7th at the Ryman Auditorium. The best texter will win those tickets, and we will decide that at the end of the show. I guess we're not wrapping up this conversation right now because Larry is on our phone line, wants to talk about the Cam Ward conversation we are having. Larry, go ahead.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
Doing well.
Right.
Listen, I agree. I think the Titans need to get the first pick, and they need to use that as draft capital. I mean, I feel like they missed out a great opportunity last year to pick up more draft picks. Yes, they got Cam Ward, but ultimately they have to have more studs on that team. And right now, I mean, you look at that roster. I mean, there might be 3 or 4 guys who you think are decent building blocks around that team. You know, Cam Ward, Latham, Skoronski, Lavondre Sweat. I think those guys are building blocks. Besides that, that whole team really needs to be improved with some guys. So hopefully, I mean, yes, I want the Titans to win. And you're in one of those situations where it's like, I want them to win, but are they going to make the playoffs? Are they going to win the Super Bowl this year? No. I mean, they may not win 5 games. So I just think for the betterment of the team and the organization going long term, it's okay to lose games this year because I do think better days are ahead.
Thanks, Larry. That's a great point. Yeah, he makes the point that there aren't a lot of young stars on this team other than Tavondre Sweat. Maybe you can make the case for, but Cam Ward is the brightest among all of those. Hence why I think let the kid play. Show what you got. Show the future.
Agree to disagree. That's all I got to say.
I guess that's all we got to say.
I'm not going to comment anymore. We're just going in circles.
615-737-1025. Again, our phone number. If you want to text or call us with your answers to our question of the day for a chance to win tickets to the Yacht Rock Club. Before you can buy tickets, that show February 7th at the Ryman Auditorium. Coming up next, this will be fun because I want to play a little game with you, Nick Frazier. Who are the top 5 best SEC quarterbacks of the quarter century, the last 25 years? We'll do that next here on the Chasing Big Joe Show. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier filling in on 102.5 The Game. Jason Big Joe broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier filling in for you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. It's not too hot outside, not a cloud in the sky. A good, nice change of pace.
Beautiful day.
For the amount of rain we've gotten this week. So it's nice.
Go outside, get some sunshine.
Go see some football tonight. Again, our Metro Nashville Public Schools game of the week. On the air tonight. Pregame starting at 6:30. Nick Frazier, you're going to be there on the sideline. You do a phenomenal job with that.
Well, thank
you. By the way. No game blitz this week, unfortunately, as things behind the scenes kind of happen. No one's in trouble, but just that's what happened. Real quick before we get into what I want to do right here.
Sure.
Let's get to some of your questions on our question of the day. Again, if the Titans had a warning label on this season, what would it be? Cody on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, warning, front office claims to have cancer curing AI models, but can't figure out what first round talent looks like. I think that's more of a Chad Brinker warning label than the full front office.
But still, he's president of football operations. So that kind of is the hierarchy over everything. So I'd count it.
He also says, warning, coach will run the ball 5 consecutive times, down 21 points inside your own 30, and claim to be a good play caller. He's not disappointed in his play calling whatsoever. I hope you know that.
Yeah. He said that in the press conference.
Just so you know. Again, keep those coming. We will assess the winner at the end of the show, and you'll receive a text from me saying, good job, you won. So I want to do this because you and I don't get to do shows like this very often, me and you together. Mm-hmm. We will moving forward because you and I are on the weekend show. But as kind of our first little thing, I want to talk about who are your top 5 SEC quarterbacks of all time. And I have asked ChatGPT, our good buddy, what they think is. And it may surprise you, but I want to hear yours first. And then I'll give you mine. And then I'll give you ChatGPT's.
Sure.
Go for it.
All right. So I don't know if you can allow this or not, but I have a 5A and a 5B.
That's fine.
I had a tie. I'll start with my 5B, and that's Stetson and Bennett. The last 25 years, winning 3 national championships with Georgia. I mean,
yeah, I should preface, I said of all time, I actually meant of this quarter century.
Yeah,
so the last 25 years.
So, so Stetson Bennett is at 5B for me. And then my 5A is AJ McCarron. I think underrated, undervalued in some regard. Really good quarterback for Alabama. Led them to 3 BCS national championships as well. Could be a little higher on the list. You could say this is a little bit of some personal bias at number 4, but I have Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott,
cling.
Yeah, what he did at Mississippi State, he just changed that program, just changed the trajectory of it. Obviously, it was ripped down to the studs recently with Jeff Lebby, and now it's kind of being built back up. Hopefully, a win this weekend over Tennessee. It's for another day.
Yeah.
But at number 3, I have Cam Newton.
There you go.
Had a lot of different, paths for him when it came to being at Florida. Had the whole laptop situation, and then went to JUCO, came back, Auburn. National title.
Eagle.
Exactly. And then at number 2, Tim Tebow.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well, I already know who number 1 is.
Yeah. It had to be Tim Tebow. I think what he did at Florida with Urban Meyer, and it's just, he's an incredible athlete in college. I wouldn't say the same thing for the NFL, but what he did in college, he's remembered. When you see 15 in Florida blue, everybody knows who that was. And that's Cam.
He's got a statue outside that stadium.
That's Tim. Excuse me, not Cam. That's Tim Tebow.
Timothy.
So, and at number 1, the guy that I think is the best college football quarterback, maybe of all time, arguably of all time, Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel.
What he did at Texas A&M, it just took the world by storm. I think that's something that you just have to take an appreciation for. When he beat Alabama, it was like David and Goliath. It was one of those just back and forth battles, and ended up winning. So, hey, Johnny Football, number 1 on the list. And the reason why I mentioned Johnny Football as well is just his athleticism in the pocket, is being just that guy that would improvise outside the pocket, run for 10, 20 yards. He reminds me of the NFL version of Kyler Murray. Simple as that. That's why I like Kyler Murray so much. Reminds me a little bit of Johnny Football.
You know who reminds me of Johnny Football right now?
Who's that?
That guy down the street.
Really?
Diego Pavia.
Oh.
They play a very, very similar game. Johnny Football wasn't a dynamic passer. He couldn't throw it 60 yards down the field, but when he took off with his legs, you could not stop him. So I'll give you my top 5.
Please, let's hear it.
At number 5, from the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Forgot about Stafford.
I was a little young for Matthew Stafford. He played in 08, 09. So I was, I'll show my age here. I was 4. So I don't remember much of Matt Stafford, but I, of course, have gone back and watched the film, and he was a dynamic player. And he kind of sparked the start of these great quarterbacks coming into Georgia. And you wouldn't have the run of quarterbacks, and he wasn't an NFL guy, but Jake Fromm was a good quarterback at Georgia. And then you had Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck, and now you have Gunnar Stockton.
Great game managers.
Yes. Matt Stafford is certainly one of those. Cam Newton at number 4. You kind of talked about him.
Wow. You have him at 4?
Yeah.
Wow. I had him a little higher.
Just a monster among men.
Yeah.
He was 6'5", could throw the ball 80 yards. I mean, took off and kind of like Johnny Football. He took off and ran, but kind of like Josh Allen, he would just run you over.
Mm-hmm.
He was fun to watch. I really liked that Auburn team he was on when they won the national championship.
That was in Arizona, wasn't it? Against Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Brian Harsin was the coach.
Crystal ball.
Wasn't it Brian Harsin?
I thought it was Gus Malzahn.
Oh, it was Gus.
Or, no. He was a SEC analyst for a small.
No. Brian Harsin was awful. Never mind.
I know exactly. I can see his face right now. I know Texas texting immediately. But.
Yeah, I know. They're going to rip me for that one. Number 3.
Gene Chizik.
Yeah, Gene Chizik. There you go. Number 3 is Johnny Football. They're, like I said, not the greatest pure passer, but when he takes off with his legs, you can't stop him. The final 2, I think, are...
Wait, you have Johnny Football at 3?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm ready. Okay, who do you have up for 2 and 1?
And number 2, from the university, or not the university, from Louisiana State University, Heisman winner, Joseph Burrow.
Yeah, it's fair.
Had maybe the greatest season in quarterback history of all time in 2019, won the national championship, and just a phenomenal story. From a backup at Ohio State, transfers to LSU, has a rough year his first year, and then has all these tools around him in Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Racey McMath.
Hey, Titans legend,
Racey McMath. And then look at what he's doing in the NFL now, if he stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dynamic player. And then, of course, number 1, what I think it may be the greatest quarterback in college football history, Tim Tebow.
Yeah. I think Tim Tebow, again, what he did with Urban Meyer and winning 2, 3 national titles?
2.
Yeah. I like the way you kind of mapped out your list and comparing it to mine. I kind of took quarterbacks that were there for the long haul.
Yeah.
I mean, minus Cam Newton and Johnny Manziel, minus those 2. Well, Johnny just went to the draft early, but he stayed at A&M. He didn't transfer anywhere. But all those guys I picked on my list were there for the long haul. They were there for multiple years. Some were multi-time national champions. Just something that helped build the culture. And that's kind of what I looked at for that.
So I've asked our good buddy ChatGPT to comprise a list for us, just to kind of compare what we think to what they think. So they have 5 honorable mentions, and then they get into their 5. So their honorable mentions are Matthew Stafford from Georgia, Johnny Football as an honorable mention.
Wow.
From Texas A&M, Tua Tagovailoa from Bama, Dak Prescott, and Stetson Bennett. So I don't necessarily agree with Johnny Manziel being an honorable mention.
Those are all honorable mentions?
Yes.
Interesting.
Here's where it gets interesting. Number 5, they have A.J. McCarron.
Hey, I like this.
I mean, you did too.
Johnny on the spot.
They have another Alabama quarterback at number 4.
No.
Bryce Young.
Are you kidding me?
At number 4.
That's bad.
Over Johnny Football and Matt Stafford. I think Tua's better than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
At least in college.
I guess, are they really factoring that game where Jalen Hurts got injured in the national title game and Tua came in to save the day? Is that really?
Well, Tua was the starter the year after. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I had it backwards.
Yeah.
Oops. Continue.
At number 3, they have Cam Newton. We had the same top 3 as ChatGPT. Really? Cam Newton, Joe Burrow, Tim Tebow.
Your top 3.
My top 3.
Mine's a little different. Yeah. Interesting.
I cannot buy into Bryce Young
Johnny
as the fourth best quarterback in the SEC of the last 25 years.
Johnny Football being an honorable mention is honestly it's blasphemy. You can't do that. That's the best college football quarterback of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
that's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
I mean, if you were to ask me, and maybe this is youth bias,
Sure.
it's between Burrow and Tebow for me, as far as pure passers of the game and just the name value that they hold. Tim Tebow is still, like, you watch SEC Nation and you see, oh my God, that's Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw Tim Tebow in person, throw away his NFL career and his attempted MLB career for the New York Mets, I look at Tim Tebow and I was like, that is a Florida legend right there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he is Florida legend.
I mean,
not a Denver legend.
He's a Heisman winner. He's a national championship. So I've kind of furthered this to ask ChatGPT to give us some explanations on why Bryce Young is number 4. They say he's a Heisman Trophy winner, first Alabama quarterback to do it, SEC champion in 2021, over 8,356 passing yards and 80 touchdowns in just 2 years as a starter, and clutch playmaker and face of Bama's transition after Mac Jones. Didn't realize Mac Jones was the face of Alabama quarterback play.
That Chat's got it wrong. Chat's got
it wrong.
Chat's got it wrong.
Chat is wrong. Chat is very wrong. 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to chime in on the conversation. But coming up next, I got a Preds thought to get to.
Ooh.
As the preseason is just getting started. Regular season starts next week, I think. Thursday against, not this Thursday, next Thursday against the Columbus Blue Jackets over at Bridgestone Arena. I've got a thought to get to. We'll get to that next here on Chasing Big Joe. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier filling in for you on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier filling in for you as Charles and Joseph are off doing their own things today. The Chasing Big Joe show, sponsored by the Omni Nashville Hotel. All right, so I think we have our winner here on the question of the day. I know you're just immersed in the Ryder Cup right now.
What
Frazier.
an incredible shot
I know,
from
that was-
about 200 yards out. That was incredible.
Was that Scotty? who did
No,
that?
Scotty's up right now. He's about 100 yards out. Scotty.
Scotty. Oh,
Go in the hole.
Scotty.
Oh,
Oh, the ball just skipped
Scotty
over the hole.
Scheffler from 104 yards out just about sunk one onto the green. I mean, he's just throwing darts at this point. All right, that's
Scotty.
enough golf. For
No
the
more
day.
golf.
Sorry.
Okay, so I have a Preds thought to get to, and I want to pose this question to you. Based on watching him this preseason and in these preseason games, Brady Martin has looked fantastic. Like, he looks like everything the Preds have drafted him to be in the top 5. And I'm curious, we've kind of had a little bit of this conversation before, but do you think Brady Martin would be a lock to make the opening night roster for the Predators?
I mean, going back to your comment you made last weekend about Brunette's system right now of just trying to build the chemistry with 2 veterans, 1 youngster in each line, I think it's clever. I think if he includes Brady Martin into all that, I see the kid making the opening day roster, and or, you know, they may use him in some aspects, but not fully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that might be the case. I like the kid. I mean, great draft pick. Overall, in the couple of preseason games that either of us have produced and or watched, he's just been nothing but spectacular, in my opinion. And I'm not gaslighting it. I actually enjoy watching the kid play. He scored, 2 goals so far already?
Yeah. Both in the second period of the preseason game against the Lightning the other day.
Yeah.
He's just fun to watch. And look, I don't want to say he's a permanent lock to make this team for the entire year because there's logistics that go behind that. What I think they're going to do, and you and I had a conversation with Chase about this over the phone as he's in New York City for his cloud storage thing.
Yeah, I think we're at 2:30 right now. I think he's at the podium getting his
Okay.
award. So
Okay.
add another one to the bookshelf for
that's
Chase
good.
McCabe.
That's good. But I think we can all agree that what I think they're going to do is they're going to have him on the opening night roster.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play 8 to 9 games with the Predators.
Hmm.
Then they are going to send him back down to the juniors. You know why? Because that does not require a contract or any financial situation.
Yeah.
It's essentially like without a 10-day contract, it's like putting a guy on a 10-day contract. It takes up a roster spot, but you don't have to give this guy an NHL contract. So you're not losing anything.
Yeah, it's like renting a car for 3 hours and you don't have to fill up the gas tank because it's over halfway and you don't have to pay an extra $50.
There you go.
That's simply what it is.
Brilliant.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that is the right move. And look, if it comes down to it and the Preds are in a playoff position, they can call him right back up. And he can, it's still without a contract, he could provide some help. Now, I really, really like in watching him play these last couple of days, the thing he has going with Matt Wood right now. Those two have some chemistry.
They do.
Matt Wood set up Brady Martin for a goal. They pass the puck across the ice to each other, and somehow they find the other one wide open. I really, really like the chemistry they're coming up with. And I think that this could be a really nice young duo for the Predators as they move towards the future.
They could be building some stiff competition, man. It really could be. I mean, just Matthew Wood and Brady Martin, just youngsters on this team in general. You know, Barry Trotz was on Chasing McJoe, I think it was last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, and he mentioned he doesn't want to tear anything down. He wants to keep building this.
Yeah, and he should.
And he is. He kind of phrased it as when the computer doesn't work, you got to keep trying to turn it on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is. I think you're hitting the reboot button with this team, and when you hit the reboot, hopefully things kind of pan out, which they should. I think a lot of the guys they brought in and also just the youngsters developing, maybe over marinating some of them in the AHL, which is fine because that means they'll be ready for the NHL level. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. No, 1,000%. Look, Barry Trotz harps on overcooking guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not afraid to overcook a guy in the minors because that helps them come up to the to the big show and play competent hockey. And I think you can look at some guys that have been quote unquote overcooked in the minors that are going to be key contributors for the team this upcoming season, like Fedor Svechkov, like Zach LaRue. Maybe Joachim Kimmel makes the roster and he is a key contributor for the Predators. Look, these veterans on this team are not going to be around here forever. Philip Forsberg has been arguably the best player in franchise history. You could argue the same thing for Roman Josi. Honestly, I'd put both of those guys on the Predators' Mount Rushmore if we're going to do that. But they're getting older. Forsberg's 30, I believe. Roman Josi's around 32, if I'm not mistaken.
He is 35, Roman Josi.
Oh, wow. He's a lot older than I thought so. Okay, so they're not going to be around here forever. So what I'm trying to say is
Phil is 31. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're right on that, yeah.
They gotta have this young wave of Predators finally hit. And I realize you've had some guys that have come up from the minors and you thought they were going to be key pieces for your future, but have not panned out, like a Phil Tomasino, like Juuso Parssinen, Tommy Novak, guys like that are elsewhere and are not contributors in their new organizations either. But it's just that you got to have a new face of the franchise moving forward. And I think Brady Martin, granted he's 19 and he's got a lot to learn about the game of National League Hockey, the National Hockey League.
There you go.
I think he has the potential to be that guy.
Yeah. And for Preds fans out there, if you're thinking, when you draft a high draft pick, you're wanting a Connor McDavid immediately. You want a guy that can be immediately plugged into the starting roster and help out with this team. If that is the case with Brady Martin, that's awesome. If it's not, it's still okay because he'll have time to marinate a little bit, maybe overcook a little bit in the minors.
Overcook.
And I'm okay with overcooking a little bit as long as it's not, to the point where it doesn't taste good. I mean,
you would know.
Yeah, you got to have a little flavor. And I think Brady Martin brings the flavor to this Preds roster. He really does.
He's going to be fun. He's going to be a fun young player.
How important do you guys think it is going to be for patience to be preached for the fan base? Because, Connor, you mentioned something earlier just with some of the past prospects. And I mean, I'm looking now, outside of Luke Evangelista, 172 games played in the NHL in 2020. It's pretty barren how many guys from this prospect system have been able to really come in and make contributions. LaRue has 62 games. Svechkov 52. Outside of that, there's not anyone above 50. So how important do you guys think it is going to be for his fan base to kind of be patient and let those prospects marinate a little bit when they're really itching to see someone that's young come up and make that impact soon?
That's a good point. I think that's a really good question. I think you kind of have to expect some veteran leadership heading into this season at least and hope your veterans deliver the way they didn't last year. Especially the three guys you brought in and paid a lot of money for, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Brady Shea. You also made some trades and some acquisitions for Nick Perbix and Nick Hague, who I think Nick Hague is injured for a little while. But you kind of want to see the young guys overperform as well.
Right.
Like I've mentioned this before, and so has Chase. I would like to see a Joachim Kimmel play his ass off and beat Eric Haula to the third line. And Eric Haula moves down to the fourth. But to your point, Brandon, I think you got to look at some of these guys in AHL and appreciate what they're doing down there, but just realize they got to take their time.
Yeah.
I'm okay with overcooking if they come here and they deliver to the way that they're supposed to. But I think you got to just be a little bit patient. And I realize patience is hard. The Titans preach patience all the time, and I'm over patience with them. But Predators hockey,
different story.
It's a different story because you have minor league affiliates, and it's like baseball in a roundabout way. But hockey development has become a little bit slower than baseball recently.
Yeah,
like you're seeing guys like Paul Skeens is a perfect example of that. Paul Skeens was 6 months after he was drafted the ace for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yep.
Dylan Cruz is over there in Washington playing some good ball. You have guys that are drafted and 6 months later, they are key contributors for their ball club. Hockey's a little bit different in that. And it takes some time because you have, AHL and ECHL, and there's so many leagues and they go back to college while they're drafted and they play in juniors. There's so much more hoops they have to jump through. But at the same time, It just takes a little bit longer for them to develop. So
Yeah.
I think you just have to have a little bit of patience with that.
Yeah, I'd agree to all that. Just when you have young guys that are hungry, and as Victor Scott has coined it to be youngry, I think the Nashville Predators have that wave of youngry players, these young, hungry players that are not on long contracts, that are really trying to prove their worth. When you have guys like that are, I call it the fat and happy contracts. When they're not on the fat and happy contracts, they contribute at a whole different level.
Yeah.
And then you get the
Youngry.
most out of them. Yeah, they're youngry.
They want to prove themselves. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Last call for your texts and calls as we move towards our final segment. Coming up next, as is staple here on this program, we'll play What Day Is It and Celebrity Birthdays. That's coming up next right here on the Chase and Big Joe Show on 1025 The Game. Final segment here on Chasing Big Joe today on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. Get out there. It's a beautiful day today. Go enjoy some sunshine. Not too hot. We needed the sun after a long day of rain, or a long week of rain, I should say.
Not too cold.
Not too cold. Boys to men going off.
Just right.
There you go. As is always, we will play. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on the docket.
Well, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do the thing.
Jumping it. Sorry.
I got to do the thing. Hold on. Celebrity birthdays. And what day is it? Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. All of your commercial construction needs under one roof. JarrettCompaniesInc.com. Above and beyond industry standards.
All right. First on the list, we have European Day of Languages. So shout out to all the European
What is your
languages.
favorite European language?
I think you may know. Italian.
Italian.
I think that works.
What's Nani's favorite?
So it's Italian, but it's Sicilian dialect, which I don't know any of that. It sounds nothing of Italian.
Was Nani there with you yesterday?
She was.
That's good.
She was. She loves it.
Spinning the pies.
Yep. Another sold out event.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
guys for supporting. German Butter Brat Day is today.
Oh,
So-
happy German butter brought day to Pete Weber.
Yeah. Oh, he's big. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Hug a Vegetarian Day is today. Human Resource Professionals Day is today. Johnny Appleseed Day.
Oh yeah, it takes me back to kindergarten.
Yeah.
With the pans on our heads.
And you play the spoons. That's right.
yeah.
Love Note Day is today. Write a love note to someone you care about.
I got yours earlier today.
Oh, thank
That was
you.
really nice of you.
Appreciate it.
Yours is coming later.
Thank you. Lumberjack Day is today. Let's see. Next is Mesothelioma Awareness Day.
Oh yeah, be aware of that.
Yep.
Yep.
National Bakery Day. National Better Breakfast Day. Delicious breakfast guy. National Brave Day. National Compliance Officer Day.
National Brave Day, as
Yeah.
in the Braves of Atlanta.
No, not those Braves.
Oh.
They're not too brave.
Yeah, I don't think we should be celebrating them right now.
National Dumpling Day. Native American Day is today. Save a Koala Day. Shamu the Whale Day is today. Shout
Ah,
out to
SeaWorld.
Sport purple platelets. Basically, you wear purple for platelets day. Excuse me. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. All
I don't know what a platelet is, but okay.
right. The Last of Us Day is today.
As in the show and the game.
I think the game. Yeah. The game.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's a great, great
Let's
game.
see. Last but not least, National Doodle Day.
No, I have a doodle right here.
Do you?
It's right here. Look,
Oh, that's right. It is a doodle.
I'll show the camera. It's Chase and Joe. This is a picture they sent us, a postcard from New York
Oh,
for their cloud storage.
I was
thing.
wondering where that mail came from.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on to that. Celebrity birthdays is going on now. We're done with what day is it?
So me versus Brandon here.
That is correct, Brandon. Be
Okay.
ready. So the rules are you have to get them within 2 years. So if it's 58 and you say 60 and he says 56, that's a push. But if he says 57 and you say 60, he gets it because it's one closer.
All right, I'm following.
Okay,
He's
perfect.
following. He's
All right,
locked.
we'll start out with just celebrities, and we'll get to sports in a minute. First on the list, we have celebrity. Looks like, is that Linda Hamilton? She's an actress. How
Oh.
old is Linda Hamilton?
What is she in? Do we know?
The Terminator. She's in
Ah,
the Terminator.
okay.
Dark Fate.
Yeah. Oh, I know who she is. Okay. She is 63.
Okay.
Say 60.
69.
Nice.
Yep. Next on the list is, if I keep going down the list, there we go. It is another actress, Tallulah Riley. She is an actress. It doesn't say what she was in. Let's see. She had a small role as a nurse in Thor: The Dark World.
Horrible movie. 50.
Okay.
45.
40. We're off to a great start
Yeah.
here, guys.
Well, this is what happens when you have two youngins play.
Let's see. More on the list here. Actor Melissa Sue Anderson was in Little House on the Prairie. How old
Joe's
is
favorite show.
Melissa Sue Anderson?
71.
Say 77.
63.
Oh, yeah, we're doing great. Doing great right now.
Country singer Carlene Carter. How old is Carlene?
Carlene. Okay, 40.
44.
70.
Holy moly.
We're going to continue here. Trying to find something you guys may know. Oh, boy. Jazz trumpeter Nicholas Payton. How old is Nicholas Payton?
I don't know who that is. Okay, he's 47.
I'm gonna say 52.
Oh my goodness, he's 52.
Oh,
He's on the board. Brandon is up 2-0 here.
Beginner's
All
luck.
let's see. We'll go to sports birthdays because I feel like you guys may get those. Tennis player, and I believe now retired tennis player, Serena Williams. How
Serena.
old is Serena Williams?
Serena is 45.
Took mine. I'll go at 43.
44. It's a push.
Push.
Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Pitcher in the MLB, Sean Doolittle. How old is Sean Doolittle?
Sean Doolittle. I'll say 32.
Okay.
I'll say 33 because I was also gonna say 32.
He is 39.
Oh,
So
he's an old man.
another
Retired.
baseball player, Scott Lewis. How old is Scott Lewis?
Scott, 28.
Okay. Brandon?
34.
He is 42. All right. Chris Archer is the last one on the list. He is also a baseball player. So
Lots of baseball birthdays today.
I'm just looking through what the birthday list is for sports, and that's what pops up. So go ahead. Chris Archer, another baseball player and pitcher.
35.
I'm gonna say 32.
He is 37. So
Ah,
Connor got that. You said 35, didn't you?
yeah.
So
I still
that's-
lose.
Still lose. Yeah.
That's okay.
So what a deadlock of a win. But Brandon first on the board here and wins it first time on the
Yeah,
on
look
the
at that.
show.
He's 1-0.
Yeah.
I am very, very bad at celebrity birthdays historically.
I think it was just a bad day. I didn't know half those actors or actresses. And the trumpeter one, I mean, hey, good for Brandon there.
Very good. Very good.
That's good.
Fun show today.
Indeed. Connor, we got a fun show planned for tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters are in town.
Yeah, they are. And also Tate McRae will host.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a good show.
Sweet. We got Vandy tomorrow, too. That's a big game.
Yeah, we do. Tomorrow.
Some college football action.
MTSU plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
They will be over on 93.3, our sister station. They're taking on Kennesaw State in the Conference USA opener. Of course, you can hear Vanderbilt coming up tomorrow as they play Utah State. Over on 94.9, The Fan, Oregon and Penn State play. And of course, you and I will be on the air tomorrow from 9 to 10 as we get you set into Vanderbilt and Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
And some might say it may sound oddly similar to today.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All I gotta say is I think Vandy might win.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they're going to win as well.
Okay.
And they're going to be 5-0 heading into that Alabama game.
You know what? That's a good observation there, Connor.
And you know what? I think Alabama comes off a loss headed into that game next week.
Really?
I'm taking the Dogs.
I like the Dogs as well.
And I think the Dogs win by two scores.
14 or 10?
10.
10, yeah. I'm in the same boat. I think they win by probably 10.
I can't bet against Kirby Smart at home. I think I heard Parker earlier say they've won like 32 consecutive home games.
Oh, wow.
Which is ridiculous. And I'm just not buying what Kalen DeBoer's putting down right now.
I just can't buy what he's selling.
It's hard to be the guy after the guy. And there are rare cases where it seems to work out. Like my guy right now, Mark Pope, seems to be the guy after the guy. But very rare case.
You're not that guy, pal.
Trust me. You're not that guy. As we leave you here today, just wanted to, as we always do, I know Joe usually does this, but I'll do it today. For our guys out there, if you're struggling going through any mental health crises, dial 988 on your cellular device to get in touch with someone to give you the help. We need you here. Our world is a better place with you in it. So please dial 988 on your cell phone. Reach out to someone. Get the help you need because this world would not be the same world without you in it. There is a plan for you on this world. You have purpose and you are loved by us. You are loved by your family. You are loved by all. So get the help you need by dial 988 on your cell phone and seek the help you need.
Indeed.
Hopefully I don't do it as well as he does.
That was spot on. I know Chase normally goes peace, love, rock and roll, and on to the next.
Mental health is physical health.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Peace, love, rock and roll DVD with Adam Vingan, Willie Donick, and Derek Mason coming up next right here on 102.5 The Game.